Well, welcome to another short chat with Tim, and we're continuing our little look at narcissists. And I want to talk today about the playbook that a narcissist uses in relationships. And last time we just talked about the fact that narcissism, extreme narcissism, comes out of deep trauma, which then results in deep shame and soul murder, which then leads to the characteristics of a narcissist. And that any person that is in a relationship with a narcissist for an extended period of time will basically end up with complex trauma because it's a very unsafe environment. So a narcissist is not capable of a healthy relationship. They're only capable of relationships that use people and eventually destroy people. And so what I want to just develop is, what does their playbook look like? And it's important to understand that a relationship with a narcissist basically has three phases to it. So there's the idealized phase or the luring phase at the very beginning of the relationship. And that looks very good, very positive, very loving. It looks like the relationship made in heaven kind of thing. But then, because the narcissist, that's all an act. The narcissist has never dealt with any of their deep wounds and deep issues and all the soul murder. They can't sustain that. So eventually it goes to a devalue stage. So the masks begin to slip. There begins to be cracks in their armor and problems begin to develop. And that goes on for a while. And then it goes eventually to the discards stage where the narcissist gets rid of a person, moves on to get somebody who's going to be a better mirror and give them the positive affirmation that they want. So what I want to look at today is, what are the playbook for the luring phase, for this early ideal phase? So what you need to understand up front is that they are meeting you under false pretenses. They are meeting you acting like they want to love you and have a healthy relationship, but that's altogether untrue. They might not even be aware of their true intentions, their true abilities. They think they're capable of a healthy relationship. Their map for a relationship, their belief system about a relationship, they think is healthy, but it is totally unhealthy. They think they're capable of a healthy relationship. They're only capable of destroying people. And so what usually happens in the very beginning is that they meet you, they like you, and the first thing that they try to do to win you is to say, this must be a coincidence. Wow, the universe must brought us together. Fate has brought us together. I just feel a chemistry with you. And they keep talking about this coincidence over and over again. It's an unbelievable coincidence. It must be meant to be. And so they're putting all their eggs in that basket, that because this coincidence of us meeting happened, it must be destined to be a successful relationship. What's actually happened is they meet you, they develop this fantasy bond that says this is going to be wonderful. It's not based on any evidence. It's not based on the actual ingredients of a healthy relationship. It's based on a fantasy and an emotion. And now they got to try to convince you that's the right thing, so they play the coincident fate card. But if you think of that, I've met thousands of people by coincidence. Doesn't mean that I should have a relationship with them or it's going to work. What makes a relationship work is not that we met by some coincidence or that somehow this was the universe planned it. It's that you have the ingredients of a healthy relationship. And that takes two people working at being healthy, working through problems to create the foundation stones of a healthy relationship, to maintain the healthy dynamics of a relationship. That's the only way a relationship works. It has nothing to do with whether coincidence brought you together. Now, I need to say this up front. Narcissists have a type. They are attracted to certain people. They are attracted to people who have deep shame, people that don't even realize they have deep shame. Some do. Some are very needy. Some are very broken. Some are in all kinds of problems. They're in jail. They're in addiction. Their life is falling apart. They love coming in and rescuing people like that. But some are people who are very successful, who have all the external accoutrements of success, money, possessions, position, power. They are attracted to people like that who will be a trophy on their arm. But the thing is, they're attracted to people with shame. And so what we saw last time is that narcissists have deep shame. They're attracted to people with deep shame. They're also attracted to people who have been taught, raised to forgive no matter what. That forgiveness means forgive and forget. Forgiveness means let them back into your life and trust them again and don't have any boundaries or consequences with them. They are attracted to people with that belief system. They sense people with that belief system. Then they are attracted to people with a great sense of loyalty. People who have been raised to believe that if you're in a relationship, you never end it. You're always there for that person, no matter what. Divorce is wrong, all of that kind of thinking. They love people like that. And then they love people who are over accommodating, who are people pleasers, people who are quick to make sacrifices and set aside their needs to help other people. People who don't say no easily and don't set boundaries easily or don't enforce the consequences of boundaries. They love people who are a bit of a pushover. And then they love people who are super responsible. People who take care of everybody else. People who put their own needs aside and make sure that everybody else is taken care of. People that once they make a commitment to somebody, they will continue to stand by that person, take care of that person, even if that person is sick and destroying themselves and should be let go. That person will continue to try to take care of them. That person will stay in unsafe situations because they made a commitment. They love people like that. And then they love people who validate them, who are a mirror or an echo of how wonderful they are, how much they're appreciated, how much they're respected. So that's the type that a narcissist has. So let me give you two main parts of the luring phase, their playbook. Number one is mirroring. What that means is they reflect back to you common interests. So in a healthy way, we all do that in relationships. So you meet somebody, you are exploring or looking for, do we have anything in common? If you do, you validate, oh, you like hockey, I like hockey too. And then you expand on it. Let's talk about hockey. That's normal. But a narcissist, what they do is they want to mirror you identically, become a clone of you. So if you like country and Western music and they don't, they will say they like country and Western music. Then they will go and that week research country and Western music constantly and come back with all kinds of trivia about country and Western music, play it constantly. And so they will do that in area after area. And what they are trying to do is say, we have identical interests to each other. That must prove that we're meant for each other. That makes me even more attracted to you, and it should make you more attracted to me. So that's their way of thinking. Then they go from that mirroring to love bombing. And love bombing is they inundate you with gifts, with wonderful statements, validating statements, with cards, flowers, phone calls, texts, emails that praise you, that tell you how much they miss you. They are prince or princess, charming, but they are portraying a version of themselves that is not real. So this is known not just as love bombing, but as the grooming process. And what we mean by the grooming process is the whole purpose of the love bombing is to gain your trust. It's to break down your natural cautions and get you to let them in and trust them. And so they want to speed it up. They want you to trust them and let them in quickly, and their goal is to control you. And so they intensify to do this quickly, love bombing, overwhelming you with all this wonderful things. They're trying to get their hooks in you. So again, let me just make a distinction before I describe love bombing, and that is there is healthy wooing in the dating. That, yeah, you have flowers and gifts, lots of little extra kindnesses, but what's important to understand that in healthy wooing, once the relationship, there's a commitment made, so we're moving in together, we're committed, we're going to get married, those things continue to happen. Maybe not as frequently as in the dating, but they still are part of the relationship. Not so with the narcissist. Once they feel your commitment and that they have control, the love bombing stops. It only starts up again if you threaten to leave. So there's a definite difference. So here's what they do for love bombing. Excessive compliments and flattery. So constant praise, like you're the most amazing person I've ever met. No one understands me like you do. And they say that very early in the relationship. And you hardly know each other. So that's partly over the top declarations. I love you. You're my soulmate. And again, they've only known you for a few days or weeks, and they're already saying these over-the-top declarations. And then they make future promises. They start talking about marriage and providing kids and a big house and big plans for you. And again, it's premature. You hardly know them. And then they heap you with lavish, expensive, extravagant gifts early on in the relationship. Expensive jewelry, vacations, and then constant attention and contact, nonstop texting, calling, messaging. And they're trying to say they're doing it because they love you so much. It's not the case at all. It's trying to gain control over you. They will drop everything they're doing to spend time with you. So what they're doing in the love bombing is they're trying to make you feel that you're the center of their universe. You're the sun in the universe and they're revolving around you. But the whole goal is so that you will make them the sun in your universe so they can control everything. And then grand gestures, public displays of affections, surprise visits, elaborate dates, just to impress you like crazy, to overwhelm you with, wow, this is an impressive person. And then they create the illusion of urgency. So it's like, we're meant to be, so let's not waste time dating. Let's move in together. And so they're starting to put pressure on you to speed up the intimacy process. And then there's excessive physical affection. Lots of hugs and touches, sexual advances, all trying to create the sense that you're really close and connected. And then they rush intimacy. So they begin to talk about moving in. They want sex all the time. Sex becomes a big part of what you realize they just want more and more of. And then there's public praise, social media showcases. So they're tagging you on Facebook and Instagram and lots of romantic posts. They're announcing their love on Facebook to you very early on. And they claim that you boost their self-image, that you make their life complete. And then they use isolation and try to say that it's a form of love, that I just want you all to myself. We don't need all these other people. They're just getting in the way of our relationship. Let's just spend more time together because I love you so much. So they begin to cut off your relationship with family and friends, saying it's because they want just more time with you. And then when they're with you in the love bombing phase, they just are the best listeners in the world. They offer amazing emotional support. They're charming, they're funny, they're thoughtful, they're sweet, they're upbeat. But then what I want you to be aware of is, and you can check this, is that often you begin to realize there's cyber stalking happen. They're tracking your texts. They're putting things into your phone to know where you're at all the time. They want to read your text. They want to see who called you. There's that constant cyber stalking. So that's the love bombing phase. So what are some of the signs that a person is not just wooing you, but is love bombing you? Number one, they do not fully respect your boundaries. Now, I have to say this carefully. They say they respect your boundaries. They look initially like they respect your boundaries. You set a boundary, initially they will do it. But then what you find is they try to find ways to wiggle around your boundary so they can do what they want. And then you'll find that you feel less and less freedom. They're always checking in with you. They want to spend all their time with you so that you never get any alone time. They're just smothering you, pressuring you, not giving you any space. And then they're giving you extravagant gifts that you really don't need. And you say you don't want them, you'd rather the money be used for something else, but they continue to give them. So they're not respecting that boundary. And what you need to see is the gifts really aren't about what you need. The gifts aren't about love. The gifts are about them wanting to look good and them wanting to gain control over you or leverage over you. There's always strings attached, and you begin to sense that. So if you realize, whoa, I'm in a relationship where I am being love bombed, boy, yes, it felt good initially, but yeah, I'm starting to feel less freedom. My boundaries aren't being respected. This is really starting to feel uncomfortable. I would really encourage you to get out as soon as possible. The longer you stay in it, the more their tentacles get into you, and often the harder to get out. So the sooner you can end it, the better. And that's partly because there's one final thing that they are doing in this love bombing phase. They are very subtly beginning a gaslighting process. So if they say, oh, I just want to spend time with you because I love you so much, and you say, yeah, but I need my family and friends. Oh, you don't need your family and friends. We just need each other. That's gaslighting. They're getting you to doubt your own belief, your own gut, your own perception of things. If you're say to them, hey, I don't want these gifts. They feel unnecessary. They're not really what I want. Yeah, but they are what you want. They're because I love you. This is a wonderful thing. That's a gaslighting process. And the goal of gaslighting is to gradually get you to doubt your beliefs, to doubt your guts, to isolate you from anybody else's opinion that would strengthen your gut and your beliefs, to get you to only believe their perception of stuff so that they gain power over your thinking, over you totally, and they get you to doubt yourself 100%. That's the goal. And it starts subtly in the love bombing stage. So that's the playbook in the luring phase. I hope that helps you. And if you find yourself in it, please take steps to get yourself out. Thank you. If this was helpful, like, subscribe, share. Means a lot to us. Have a great day.